Sounds crazy, but lots of YouTubers lose tons of views because of just a few small thumbnail mistakes. That awesome video about Egypt you made only got 130 views. Your editing was really good and even had drone shots. So what's the problem? Well, the truth is you may have lost hundreds or even thousands of views because people saw your thumbnail, saw something better, scrolled past and clicked on that instead. Just a few simple mistakes on your thumbnail can torpedo your video and your click-through rate. It could lead to 40% less views. So in this video, I'm going to show you what those 4 mistakes are, how they're killing your views, and how to fix them for good. Number 4 is that your thumbnails are unreadable. A lot of people edit their videos on big screens because it's easier to edit videos, right? And you're probably using that same desktop monitor to create thumbnails. And a lot of people create these really nice thumbnails which are great to be viewed on big screen TVs or big monitors, but not so good for smartphones. And according to YouTube, 60% of people watching YouTube now watch on their smartphones. The clever or catchy text that you have is hardly visible. And the honest truth is nowadays people are scrolling so fast that you have less than a second to grab any kind of attention. The brain instantly decides what they want to click on. If the viewer has to kind of squint to see what's going on or kind of tilt their head to figure out what's going on in the thumbnail, they're not gonna bother. So the first and easiest way to fix this is to do the zoom out test, which means you take your thumbnail that you created and make it really small, the size of a postage stamp, because that's what the size is gonna be on a cell phone, and kind of see what it looks like and see if you can catch what's going on, catch the text and the visuals without having to squint or, try really hard. Along with the zoom test, you wanna make sure your text is big, bold, easy to read. And in order for it to capture attention, you don't want the text to be too long. I would say maximum 4 or 5 words. 3 would be the ideal number. And you've probably heard this before in other videos, but you don't want the thumbnail text and the title text to be the same. So if your video is about how to make lamb biryani, and that's the title of your video, you don't want the thumbnail to say lamb biryani. You want it to say something more curiosity driven, like my secret recipe or best biryani ever. Also, make sure your writing, the font you use, is very simple and very bold, very easy to read. And something that would make your thumbnails really stand out compared to other thumbnails is the contrast. You want to have really, really bright text with a dark background or vice versa. And a little YouTube thumbnail hack, make sure you don't put anything at the bottom right, because that's where YouTube usually puts their timestamp, so it'll block any kind of text you write there. So once you've got all the tech stuff figured out, let's move on to the visuals. The number 3 mistake a lot of YouTubers make is the clutter. For some videos, thumbnails that have a lot of clutter can be good. Maybe artsy thumbnails or thumbnails about like a travel vlog, like a prank video or something with a lot of different things going on all at once. But in general, you want to have a very simple thumbnail, because while people are scrolling, you want them to focus on one major thing that will catch their eye. If there's too much stuff going on in the thumbnail, people won't know what to focus on and then just move on to the next thing. So depending on the topic of your video, you want to know what is the main thing you want to show in your thumbnail. Is it a picture of you? Is it a graph or a visual explaining something about your topic? Is it a specific object or a specific place that you visited? Is it a specific food item that you created? Whatever that element is, you need that to be the biggest and, if possible, in the center or close to the center as possible. And then you can have a second image and a text around it. And what I do to add more depth to my thumbnail is I take a screenshot of my video like this right now, but what I do is I remove myself, make the background very dark, and then place myself back on top to make me a lot more brighter and more in the center. With 2 or 3 easy words and a picture of myself with a certain kind of emotion, it's kind of easy to tell what this video is going to be about. And along with myself and a text, I always add one other piece of information, whether it's a little visual or a graph or text. So I'm like Batman, the text is Robin, and that little third visual is kind of like our Batmobile. And this next mistake is kind of like clickbait. So for number 2, another mistake that a lot of YouTubers do is they break their promise. And this was really popular like 10 years ago, where a lot of people had like all these clickbaity titles. But people realized really quickly that clickbait doesn't work. You might think creating a catchy thumbnail with a really shocking visual or text might get people to click. And it's true, they might. But then you have to think about what happens next. they see your video, everything that you promised in that thumbnail is not there, they leave disappointed and they never come back. And also that quick drop in the first 10-20 seconds of your video when people realize that what you said you were going to do in your thumbnail is not true, that also lets the algorithm know that your video is not worth watching. Your thumbnail might have been really nice, but it didn't really relate to the actual video. So the solution is to create a balance. You do want to have some kind of shocking element or some kind of curiosity, but not too extreme that people feel cheated. And for the number one mistake that YouTubers make, a lot of them don't even know they're making it, is they have no recognizable identity. And the reason why a lot of people don't know this is because they don't really think of their self as a brand. And this mistake is very subtle, but it gets more obvious the longer you do YouTube and the more videos you make. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is when all your videos have very different style of thumbnails. This was my mistake on my last channel, Aussie Awesome. If you take a look at my video list, as you can see, they're so different, all the different thumbnails. It's almost as if each video is from a different YouTuber. Colors are different, the fonts are different, the style, everything about the thumbnail is different. So for a lot of people, while they're scrolling on their feed, if they recognize a YouTuber that they like or they're already subscribed to, they're more likely to click on it. And like I said, you need to think about yourself as a brand. Think about famous brands in a supermarket. If you're walking down an aisle and you're like really far away and you see a cereal box, if you see that tiger with the blue box, you kind of know exactly which video or which cereal it's gonna be. For those of you who don't know cereal, that would be Frosted Flakes. But all the famous brands have famous logos or colors that you can kind of see from really far away. And YouTube's the same. If you're scrolling through thousands of different thumbnails, if there's something specific about your thumbnail that you always use, for example, your face or the same font or the same color, this will kind of be branding for you. And if you compare my old channel to my new channel, if you look at my Ghost Your Job channel now, you can see all the videos I made so far have very consistent thumbnails. You don't have to have the exact same thumbnail all the time because that gets boring. You want to have a little bit of difference or variation, but you kind of want to keep a system in order. Like I said, the same font or the same kind of concept. So if I do pop up on other people's feeds and they've seen my video before, if they see a new video pop up, they'll know, oh, that's that Ghost Your Job guy. So there you go. That's 4 mistakes that a lot of YouTubers make on thumbnails, and I've taught you how to fix it. The first one has to do with the text. Make sure it's big, there's not too many words, it's readable, and has a very easy to read font. Use a zoom out test to make sure that you can still read it when it's really small. Second is you want to declutter. Think of it as cleaning up your bedroom. You want to put everything away and make everything look organized. Have a clear visual hierarchy, something that's central focus, and then some side text and pictures for kind of complementing it. Third, you want to deliver what you promise, no clickbaity thumbnails. And fourth, you need to be more recognizable and start getting used to branding yourself. And you don't have to be an artist or a professional designer. You just need these little small tweaks for your thumbnails to make them look really good and professional and stand out. So go back to your last 10 videos, take a look at your thumbnails and see, have you been following these rules or breaking them? If you are breaking them, don't get frustrated. See it as an opportunity because unlike the video, thumbnails can be changed very easily. So you don't have to do anything with the video. You don't have to delete it or upload it or re-edit it or anything like that. You can just change the thumbnail, or you can just add the thumbnail as a second thumbnail so that way it has like multiple thumbnails that it can test. So learn from these 4 mistakes and avoid these thumbnail killers. And speaking of thumbnail killers, there's also 5 channel killers. You can watch my video here where it talks about a lot of mistakes that YouTubers make on their channels. Watch that video to improve your own channel and optimize it for the best results. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Peace.